without a TP. I mean, if he decided to make a couple more ghouls and get Frenzy, and he brought in a couple aim or something, he could have right-clicked my Tree of Life, and it would have been pretty painful. I mean, with hero spells, he could have pretty easily knocked out some Wisps and been good to go. So, his heroes are still pretty weak. He's just got, 3-1-1, almost 3-2-1, almost 4-2-1, really. And I'm just at 3-2, or sorry, 4-2, there we go. Really leveling up the Dark Ranger doesn't always mean too much. 3 is the big level. After that, it starts falling off because another thing that people will do is against Dark Ranger, and here's a couple of things you can think of. I know I'm sort of jumping points around a lot, but here's one of them. Well, against Dark Ranger, people very often go A-bombs, because DR doesn't do anything to A-bombs unless it's level 6. And, then specifically they'll go A-bomb Destro, and now I got lucky here grabbing myself an EXP tome. But the point I was saying is, they will very often go A-bomb Destro because Dark Ranger doesn't have any direct damage spells except for, Black Arrow, which he has some decent damage output, but still, I mean, honestly, if they go Destros, they have a counter to Silence, they have a counter to Black Arrow summons, and okay, Life Drain is pretty decent damage output, but I mean, still, really, that's all she's got. You have a hero with one spell. That's not that good. And also the point is, A-bombs are very good units. They're super durable. They do really good damage, and they're pretty cheap too. They are the least expensive tier 3 melee, and the second most durable. Interesting. And guess what? They're only less durable than Tauren, who costs 50% more. So if you go by cost per hit points, A-bombs are the most durable tier 3 melee, period. Even per food, I think. Their damage output isn't quite up to par with Bears, but, I mean, they have more armor, more hit points, and similar damage, less cost, and you don't have to research shit to make them. Granted, you can start Bears from tier 2 and then pow, morph them, but, I mean, still, they're very good units, and yeah, okay, they start, being built slowly, but they're still very good units. But anyway, yeah, how you abuse players that go A-bombs though is, again, you start out with this push right here because, the push I did 6 minutes ago, because it'll allow you to knock off a lot of ghouls, which is actually very important for your opponents because what they can do with that, if they keep a bunch of ghouls alive, what they will very often do, and this is actually a very common occurrence, is at tier 3 they upgrade that Ghoul Frenzy upgrade, and they go apeshit on your expansion. They use their heroes and their hero spells and everything with the orb, and they just go apeshit on your Tree of Life, and oftentimes they will kill it. Or, they'll come close, they'll make you spend a lot of money on Wisp, whatever, repairing it, and, it works really well. So, right here, what I'm doing in this battle is, I'm trying to pull back the bears. I staffed one, I tried to run back the other one at a good time. I've got this other bear that I sort of brought back without healing or anything, which was a very big mistake. I should have rejuved and then come back in. And as you can see, they're just knocking off my bears now. They're going to kill another one right here in a second. And that's just bad play on my part. I shouldn't have lost. Some of the bears I would have lost, without passing the staff. The first one I shouldn't have lost. A couple of these I shouldn't have lost. Just, pulled them back sooner. And Death Knight kill, well, Keeper of the Grove is a nice hero, and he just got a lot of focus off. With level 3 pan, I got that Breath of Fire going, and it's just some good damage output. I think he's going to ritual that one. Nope. Okay. So yeah, killing A-bombs also very fun. You may think, why are you on Keeper of the Grove? What, are you a noob? He's going to eat the Entangling Roots. Well, I'm only really using it to attack his heroes as is. It only does so much damage. So, why not have some fun and entangle them and go own them up with that. Staff it, because why have it take more damage than it needs to? Staff just has a cooldown, doesn't cost anything extra. And plus I can now heal it up on my Moonwells and stuff, and, good to go. So, full HP, full mana, and the regen is out regenning the Disease Cloud, which is kind of nice. Alrighty, so, basically, as you saw, I was using the Orb of Venom, and I had turned off Dark Arrow. At this point I realized, Destros are really the big problem. I mean, he's not going to get enough of A-bombs or Fiends to kill my Dryads easily. Destros are the real problem right here. Let's get my Panda attacking air, because I noticed last bout I wasn't killing the Destros fast enough, and they were knocking off my bears too quickly. And so, yeah, it probably would have been better to have the Orb on the Panda earlier. I thought that having the DR with the extra damage output, because I already had claws and gloves and all this crap, it'd be useful, but really, nah, getting on the Panda is just more important. Also, getting more orbs allows more hero focus, which is also what I was kind of thinking of. But point is, I've now got, you know, a bunch of orbs, a bunch of damage output. I'm waiting to get level 5 that I'm pulling out with my Dark Ranger, and off I go. I believe I went Dark Arrow at 5. You may think, why are you getting Dark Arrow skeletons? They just get dispelled. And what I'm going to say is, well, so does Silence, if you think about it, you know? It'll have a great big area, and okay, fine, it'll help you make sure you hit all the heroes, but honestly, it's just one battle. Like, you know, you're all fighting, like, you know, in one small confined area, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure I can hit all those heroes with that. I'm not really that worried. So, you know, there's that. As you can see, I'm up to 2 upgrades also. When you've got an expansion up unhindered, it's really, really helpful to keep upgrading, because, you know, your opponents are going to pick off units. You know, Undead will always be more efficient than Night Elf in almost any situation. Their units can be more efficient. They will kill more than you kill, which is a lot of why you will see elves, you know, having to run an expansion in these matchup. You know, they need the gold. Oh, you know, and yes, you know, with, you know, Undead nuking and stuff, and, you know, A-bombs being essentially better than bears, and sort of the high HP of every undead unit. You notice only ghouls are really that weak. Everything else is more durable than the standards of the other races. Fiends are the most durable, you know, ranged. A-bomb's one of the most durable, you know, tier 3 melee. Destro's moving faster and having magic immunity compared to everyone else's heavy air. You know, hell, even Frostworm's the most durable heavy air. So I mean, you know, even if you wanted to draw just complete parallels, you know, it's true. Crap, I just got minimized. Pause the replay. Sorry. I am paused at. Let's go ahead and pause this at 1645. If you didn't pause in time, well, just try to count in your head. 1645, unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 1650, 47, 48, 49, 1650. Alright, anyway. So the point I was bringing up, you know, undead units are very efficient. It's true. And so, you know, what you want to go after with these upgrades is say, okay, well, you know, I have more money than you, which, you know, translates into more units, and, you know, conveniently enough, more upgrades. And so even if, you know, and that does a couple things, you know, it helps bring the efficiency back into your favor, because, you know, bears with a bunch of upgrades, they do more damage and have more effective hit points than unupgraded A-bombs, so, you know, now your units are better. And, you know, and additionally, you know, even if he does pick off those first few units, you know, like, you know, his units are more efficient, fine, whatever. Anyway, any you know, right after the first, you know, 30 seconds of the battle, you know, he's picked off 3 of your units, and now you have less. But it helps your army scale better. You know, it says, okay, well, I'm 5 bears versus 5 A-bombs, and I guess this really just ties to point 1 a lot. And even though it's, you know, even though you picked off these units, well, my units are still better than yours, and so I'm still in the favor. Even though you're out of mana and stuff, my units are still better, and so you can go from there. Anyway, so this is sort of the climactic battle. Okay, I have an expansion. I have this Wisp down at his expo. It's very important to scout expos and Echo Wilds. And then I go, you know, haze firing and all that, dispelling sleep, and using healing potions, entangling and whatnot. And yeah, okay, he can eat the entangling roots off, but really it's what, like 75 mana. He gets 2 orb shots with it. I guess technically 3, but with degen, you know, he gets 2 orb shots, dispel. And I mean, yeah, you know, you just cast the spells because you might as well. I mean, okay, he's just get a little bit of mana, but if you know, stop a coil, and if you've noticed in these games, I managed to silence like right after he casted coil. If you watch, like, there's like 3 or 4 times where I silence right after he cast the coil. But yeah, you see here, I'm just, you know, that's how you sort of walk over undeads in this map. I don't know exactly how to describe it. I mean, just follow what I did. This is a very typical how to beat undead bit.